All right. All right. So welcome everyone to Inspiring Healthy Living with One Simple Change. My name is Kristen Owens. For those of you that might be listening by recording, and for those of you that don't know me here tonight, I'll just kind of give you a bit of a background of who I am, who you're listening to. I have been in the wellness industry for, well, I've been saying 27 years for a very long time. I'm 47. I started at 20. So that's where I get 27. So it's been a very long time. And this is, as I say all the time, this is literally my passion. I don't want to talk about anything else except this topic or anything related to health. And I am super excited with new women that come on, with women that have been here a million times. I'm just really excited to inspire. Hopefully, I will inspire you to take that step, if you haven't already, to just really look at your life as a whole and how can you take even just one thing that we talk about tonight and incorporate it into your life. Because the fact is that our bodies were designed to heal, and it really is just about, it's about our habits, right? What we're doing on a daily basis, and doing that over time compounded will create massive changes in your body. And so I have been with Juice Plus for the past 13 years. And I started out with Juice Plus because another nutritionist shared it with me. And I thought, free nutrition for my kids? Yes, for sure. And now, of course, I really only have been doing the business really kind of gung-ho this past year because of things happening, things changing. And I was like, you know what? I need to make my business more global and be able to help more people. And this has been able to be a solution to do that. So let's move on to our, how do I do this? Oh, there we go. Okay. So the question is, well, not the question. The fact is that we are becoming unhealthier every single month, every year. And as the years go on, if you think about those of us born in the 70s and those of you maybe born, earlier than that, you would probably be able to raise your hand and say, yes, where we are today and what we saw 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years ago, totally different. Our world today is not the way it was when we were younger. So we know, these are statistics. We know that 1 in 4 people will die of heart disease. Okay, so in Canada, heart disease is number 1, cancer is number 2. In the States, it's actually reverse, but regardless, they're top 2. 1 in 3 will have diabetes by 2050. Blood sugar issues are a major problem. And if you want to really improve your wellness, it's really, you need to really look at how we can improve blood sugar, right? 1 in 5 children are obese, and it's probably even more so now. Our children are more harmed by poor diet than by exposure to drugs, alcohol, and tobacco combined. That's a big problem. And so today, we're actually going to look at a solution to improve what we see here on the screens. And we know that the reason why I can say it will help you with these things and more is because we have research to prove it. Anyway, so I'll wait till I get there. I'm trying to stick to my slides here. Environmental toxins are increasing. Okay, so we already know illness is increasing. We know that environmental toxins are increasing. I think about, my oldest is 19 actually on Saturday. And when she was born, that is when I actually really started becoming more holistically minded. Like back in 2003, I mean, all of this talk was like, what is she talking about? I was one of those moms. They would have called me the crunchy mom. I was one of those moms that did not do anything mainstream. And I was one where all the moms were all doing, the common stuff that they're taught to do. I was like, that doesn't feel right to me. Or whatever, like I would research and I'd be like, so what was it that was going to help my child, right? And so one of the things I started learning about was toxins, and I didn't have any clue about cleaning products in our home and how toxic they actually were. And I thought, how are they selling these in a store? And so if you can Google now and you can see the issues that just cleaning products, we could do an entire workshop on cleaning products, and the Glade air fresheners, like those are extremely toxic, and I could go on and on. But what I'm really trying to say here is that environmental toxins, household toxins, food toxins, they are increasing. And if you think about our grandparents, my grandparents are no longer alive, my husband's are no longer alive, but there's a lot of I have friends that are in their like late 50s, and their parents, my one really close friend, her mom is 94. I think about the pastor of my church, her mom is 94. And I think about two other people, their moms are like in their like late 90s. And you think to yourself, well, why is it that these older people, this generation, isn't sick? Some of them are, but there's so many of them that actually are not on tons of medication, and they just seem healthier. And then we think, I've had people say to me, well, but my nonna or my grandmother is like 94, 90, whatever, and she's doing fine. She's on like barely any medication, so I should be good. But the problem is our world is not the way it was when they got started. We have to remember that when, like for example, my good friend is Italian. Her mother grew up in Italy. I don't know what time when she came over, maybe in her 20s, I'm not sure. But she was eating off the land in Italy. There wasn't the toxins. I mean, she's 94. There wasn't the toxins 90 years ago, 80 years ago, right? And so how we grow from the ages of 0 to 12 even is going to be a big determining factor as to how strong we are as we get older. Okay. So if you just look at this picture, examples: pollution, water contaminants, pesticides, prescriptions, over-the-counter drugs, chemicals, skincare products, hair care products, plastics. And then you might think, if you're new to what we're talking about, you're like, oh my gosh, do I have any hope? And I'm here to tell you that you have hope. And the reason for that, there's always hope. It doesn't matter what we're going through, how bad it seems, there is always hope. Your body was designed to heal itself. And our cells die and regenerate and die and regenerate. And this happens over and over and over again all day long. So if we can eliminate toxins, there's a lot that we can eliminate. And in our community, which I'll talk about towards the end, these are things that you learn if you're not aware of how to do this. And of course, Dana, Victoria, and I are fully aware how to do this, and we can help you with that. But it's really just about allowing your body to be healthier by one simple change of eliminating toxins, adding whole food concentrates, moving your body, eating more whole foods. You just have to start slow. You have to have that determination, and you have to just be willing to fall down and get back up and acknowledge yourself that that's just part of the game. Okay, so I want to leave you with this slide to let you know, but this is a fact, but there's hope. All right, so another problem is our food quality is decreasing. Now, if those of you that have followed me on, or you follow me on Facebook, you've seen posts that I post recently. We've been doing a lot of Tower Garden education for a lot of good reasons. Our food, one of them is our food quality is decreasing. It's going downhill fast. And this is why if you can buy from local farms, it's much better. This is why we'll talk about the Tower Garden. This is why when you have a Tower Garden, you can grow your own chemical-free organic produce in your home. And you don't need a green thumb, because I do not have one. And so we know that more than 50% of what Americans are eating nowadays is processed. Packaged food, frozen food, fried food. It's the how do I want to say, not the year, but it's where we're in the oh my gosh, how do I want to say it? We're in the era, let's just say the era of where burger is king and dairy is queen. You know what I'm saying? And where burger is king and dairy is queen, that contributes to deficiencies within our body. where our body now can't thrive. It causes the issues on slide 1. And the fact is that it's not that you can never eat that stuff. If your body's in healing mode from maybe a condition that we're dealing with, then we need to be very focused on more micronutrition and more nutrition and less of that stuff. But if you're kind of in maintenance where there's not much going on, 20% of the time, I would probably even say less with, those kind of things, your body's going to be like, okay, I can deal with this, right? But again, you got to start from where you are, take a step, right? Worse, better, best. So we have things like preservatives and flavor enhancers and emulsifiers, synthetic vitamins. We'll talk about synthetic vitamins, growth hormones, GMO, less nutrition, pesticides, trans fats, artificial colors, and it goes on and on and on. So the more fresh produce we can eat, the better that we're going to be. Okay. And so I never want to, I want to acknowledge that anyone that's listening live or by recording, if you are somebody that this is where kind of you live in this process world, again, I want to provide hope and encouragement that you start with where you're at. You're not going to overhaul everything at once. I ask you not to do that because you'll not stick with it. It's about creating a lifestyle. Broccoli could lose up to, now we say broccoli could lose, but we already know that broccoli and other produce it could lose up to 50 to 80% of nutrients before you actually purchase it. So that means when you get it to your plate, if you're microwaving it, basically all of the energy, all the vitality is completely nuked away. Okay, we know that through research. It's been proven. If you're steaming it or if you're boiling it, then it's not as bad. It's not changing the whole structure of the broccoli where your body's like, I don't even know what this is. And it can create more dis-ease in your body. But the best way to eat your produce, if depending on how your digestion is, you may want to lightly steam it, right? Or you want to eat it raw. Okay, so depending on your gut health, you might find, and you might say, well, no, raw just does not feel good. You want to lightly steam it. And as we heal up the gut, then you'll start to notice that you can digest it much better. Okay, so this is a fact. We also know right now, 2022, January, we know the issues we're having in our economy. Living up here in the northern regions of North America, we get our food shipped in. And we've seen the grocery store shelves, they're empty. And unfortunately, we may not even see the worst of it. And I'm not putting out fear. I believe we have to be aware, because if we're not aware of what's going on and we stick our head in the sand, what happens is we can't be prepared. And I believe, just like I believe with health, that we have to, I believe, because I've seen this in my practice, is if we don't pay now or we don't invest now, whatever that is, we will be forced to later, and we don't want to get to that point. So basically we want to make sure we're getting good quality food. The Tower Garden, I have mine right here. So my Tower Garden I know that the nutrient quality is much higher, and I do my best to get as much produce in. I don't get 13 servings, but I know through the Juice Plus whole food concentrates, I'm getting so much more. So what can we do to be healthier? Well, it's not just one thing. It's not just taking a supplement. It's not just, eating healthier food. A lot of people being in the fitness industry, I started at 20 in the fitness industry, and it's kind of still like this, to be honest, it's about eat right and exercise. That's all you have to do, and everything will be great. But no, it's more than that. We have to look at the holistic person, the whole person, right? So we talked about cleaner products, drinking water, clean filtered water, and sleep, managing stress. Oh my gosh, guys, those are two huge, huge pieces that we can never forget. Your body heals when you sleep. We need to be getting to sleep by 11 o'clock latest. Because your adrenal glands, and in our community right now, we're actually doing an adrenal program. Strongly recommend it, because all of us, men and women especially, in the year 2022, we have a lot of things going on. Maybe our body's trying to heal. Maybe we're recovering from something. Maybe we're just burning the candle at both ends. And what happens is our adrenal glands get stressed out, and we can actually experience burnout quicker. And burnout's not a place you want to be, because burnout is where, you've met people before where they had to take time off work because they couldn't even handle day-to-day functions. And that's what burnout is. And so my friend Alyssa says this all the time. She said, it's much easier for me to help you when you're already standing than for me to have to pick you up off the floor. Because if you're already down, we have to work, and we have to you're going to be spending more time and more money and more emotions. And it's going to just be more work than it needs to be when you're down. Okay. However, the good thing is that when you're sleeping and you're getting a good amount of rest, your body heals. That's when it regenerates. That's when it heals. So it's very, very important. And managing stress goes without saying. We all know that. A good focus, throughout the day on deep breathing, like really breathing down into your belly and then slowly exhaling. Doing that a few times will shift your body from the stress state where disease thrives into the parasympathetic nervous system where healing takes place. Now, if you do have questions, because I just go and chat, definitely put them in the comments, and then Victoria or Dana will answer them. And if we need more help with that afterwards, I'm going to open up for questions. So how many of us have heard that we need to focus on more fruits and vegetables? We absolutely do. Experts agree that most diseases are preventable with good nutrition. Okay, we all know that. And so we know that it takes, I don't know where it is, 7 to 13 servings we want to be getting a day. Most of us don't. I don't. And so the biggest thing here is, even if you eat meat, because, it's like some people say, well, should I eat meat? Should I not eat meat? I just say to people, I eat predominantly plant-based. I eat very, very little meat. And so, because that's good for my body. But, the biggest thing is that you're just adding more plants. I tell people, just start adding more plants. So if you have at breakfast time, if you have a shake, for example, can you add like our complete shake, which we'll talk about later? It's lots more plants in there, but add kale to it, add frozen cauliflower to it, add things to it, and you don't taste it, and you're getting more servings. Lunchtime, how can you add more servings? If you have maybe 1 serving, can you add an additional one? Dinner time, if you have 2 servings, can you add an additional one? Keep it simple. All right, so let's talk about oxidative stress. I like this topic. I like to talk about it because I like to talk about cells, and I like to talk about what happens in our cells at a cellular level. And so I have a very big interest in healthy aging. And I coined the hashtag, I guess you can say, doing aging different. And I can tell you that if you follow what I teach, you will age different. You will look younger. You will feel younger. Looking younger is basically just based on what you're doing inside your body. You will be healthier. And the biggest thing is you will start to create an environment within your body that resists disease. Okay. So that is key, because if there's bacteria and viruses always floating around us, it never ends. But the reason why one person picks it up and the other person doesn't is based on stress levels, and stress levels weaken your internal environment. It's based on too much bad bacteria in your gut and not enough of the good bacteria. It's based on, not enough antioxidants, which we're talking about right now. And so if you take an apple, I'm going to explain oxidative stress and what's happening in your body right now. So you take an apple, like you see on the screen, and have you ever cut an apple and you cut it up to take it to work with you? Or you give it to, if you have kids, you give it to them at school for lunch, and the kid brings home the apple and says, this is brown, I'm not eating it. Or you're like me, I'm like, I'm not eating an apple that's brown. I always cut it off because it's not fresh and crunchy. Well, that's actually what's happening within your body, in your cells, and it's called oxidative stress. So where does oxidative stress come from? Number one, not getting enough sleep. or not sleeping enough, or not sleeping deeply. Number two is the toxins we're breathing in from the environment. Number three, it's coming from processed foods, poor food quality. It's coming from toxins in our water. It's coming from toxins on our food. I mean, it's coming from the stress that we have on a daily basis, not just physically, but what's going on up here. And this is why it is essential that we all listening today and by recording is we work on this mindset, because it's everything. Because what goes on up here affects your physical body. Okay. So, and it causes aging and disease very quickly. All right. So when you take a lemon, for example, that lemon is an antioxidant. It's vitamin C. Vitamin C, as probably you've all heard, is an antioxidant. And that's why when they say when you're sick, take more vitamin C. Now, one point on that I do want to always make, and because it fits what we're going to be talking about, is we don't want to take ascorbic acid, especially if you're taking large amounts, like if you're under the weather, because it will eventually burn a hole in your stomach because it's acid, right? And people don't really think about that. You want to take vitamin C that is more from camu. Oh, Victoria, what's the other one that we always, the one from NSP that we always, the berry, what was it? What's the one from NSP?
Rose hips?
Yes, rose hips. I always forget the name. For years, I've been forgetting the name. Rose hips. It's not going to burn your stomach. Okay. So it's an antioxidant. But the reason I'm saying this is because this is kind of taking us into the next slides, is we want food-based. Your body recognizes food-based. So what happens? In fruits and vegetables, there's good news, antioxidants in fruits and vegetables protect the cells from oxidative stress. So if you cut your apple and you just wipe the vitamin C, the lemon on your apple, what happens? It doesn't actually brown as quickly, okay? Because the antioxidants, so we have oxidative stress, antioxidants, it actually protects your cells from becoming in an environment where aging and disease happen, right? I also liken it to, do you remember Pac-Man? So Pac-Man you had these coins, right? And Pac-Man would come and Pac-Man had to eat as many coins as he could. So we have these free radicals within our body. And if you envision like your car, for example, and rust on your car, that rust is like oxidative stress. So that rust is eating away at your car. It's the same thing inside your body. Those free radicals that are coming from what I've already explained to you, where they come from toxins and mental health instability, negative thoughts, doubts, fears, worries. Notice how I'm exaggerating that, because it's not just about all the other stuff. It's also what we are actually contributing to in terms of stress. So anyways, this packet, so this is healthy cells. We need more healthy cells. The more healthy cells we have, the healthier our body is. The more unhealthy cells, they start to multiply, and then disease happens. So this Pac-Man comes, and this is a healthy cell, and he's like, I'm missing an electron. I need, because see, he's open here. This cell is really round and nice and healthy. He's like, oh my gosh, I need the healthy cells. So I'm going to go take a bite out of him, take his electron. And now this cell now is unhealthy. And then now we have two, and they go and they multiply, and they're multiplying, and multiplication expands very quickly. And this is how things like cancer, for example, this is how cancer really is. You're not sick because you have cancer. You have cancer because your body is sick and your internal environment is sick. I promise you, when you start to live what we're teaching here, your body will be in such a thriving state that disease can't thrive, right? We want to create an environment where disease cannot thrive in you, okay? And more antioxidants is going to help you. All right, so that's why the news isn't that fruits and vegetables are good for you. It's that they are so good, they actually could save your life. And so we don't say anything that if you do essential oils, they'll heal you, or if you take this, it's going to heal you, or whatever. We don't say that, because nothing really heals you. Your body always remember this. This is, if you write down anything, it's this statement: your body heals itself. No drug heals you. No supplement heals you. No, nothing heals you. You heal yourself. You heal yourself by what your thoughts are and changing those thoughts. You heal yourself by creating a new environment within yourself, and plants help you to do that. They alkalize your body. They help to detox your body. They help to provide the antioxidants and the phytochemicals that we're not getting and we need every day. They provide fiber, and they provide protein, and they provide so much more than what they actually get. What's the word I want? Like, they're not getting enough. I don't want to say they're getting a bad rap, but they're not getting a good rap. Let's just say that. So we are here to change that. All right. We need 7 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. Okay. Athletes need more. Women in pregnancy need more. Women who are nursing need more. If you're healing your body from whatever it is, you need more. Okay. So just remember that if you are under loads of stress, you need more. Why so many do we need? Well, as you can see here on the screen, produce is picked before nutrition fully develops. So if you take a tomato, for example, if you pick that tomato before it's ripe and you pick it and you put it on your windowsill to ripen, you're actually doing yourself a disservice, because it's in the last 48 hours that that the nutrients come into the plant. Okay, so it's being picked when it's green, so it ships up to us. And wintertime especially, it's like by the time we get tomatoes or anything else, the nutrients are just not there. Okay, remember with the broccoli losing up to 50 to 80% of nutrients, transported thousands of miles. I mean, right now it's wintertime. This is what we experience. 90% of Americans don't even eat enough servings. They kind of look like that little girl. They're like, it doesn't taste good. And the reason why it doesn't taste good is because there's no nutrition and it's picked green, right? That's a big reason. And what happens is now is you're missing the nutrients. So you start craving. Where do cravings come from? A lot of it is, okay, yes, blood sugar imbalances, but a lot of it is that we're deficient in nutrition and we don't get enough variety, right? We want lots of variety, lots of color. We don't want to be eating the same ones all the time. Okay, so let's talk about multivitamins versus whole food. So I will say, going back to when Victoria introduced me to Diane, gosh, my son's 16, so 15 years ago, I guess, I knew about supplements. She was the one that really taught me all about herbs. And what I was taught from the very beginning is herbs are food. Her body recognizes plants, herbs are plants, they're food. And so from that day forward, it was like, okay, well, multivitamins are synthetic, which means that they're mimicking what is found in nature, what's supposed to be found in food, and it's mimicking, but it's not bioavailable. It means that the body doesn't recognize it and doesn't really know what to do with it. And this is why when you buy supplements, better quality ones that are synthetic, this is why they'll add essential oils, because the oil helps helps it to absorb. They add food to it because they need something to help it absorb. And so basically that's a problem, because we're spending money, we're peeing a lot of it out. And this is why you get fluorescent pee. And that's just not good, right? It's also creating more deficiencies, because the recommended daily allowance, like, you know, what Kim needs and what I need and what Victoria needs and Steffi needs is totally different. So if we're all taking the same amount, and yes, okay, they have men's and pregnant women and menopausal women and kids, like, okay, but we're still different. So when you take a whole food, your body takes what it needs. It's not taking more of it, right? So if you take too much zinc, then your copper levels actually will become deficient. That's just complicated to me. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, it's just complicated. So I say, how about we use, and this is why I love Juice Plus, why don't we use whole food concentrates? Because the body recognizes it as food, and my body will take what it needs. So when we go back to the berries, for example, which we're actually, I'll get to that when we do, because I'll just keep going on and on. So 70% of Americans are trying to fill the gaps with multivitamins. Remember, you can never out-supplement a bad diet. Your diet is the foundation, okay? This is what we eat. This is what we should be eating. And what we're going to talk about is what's filling the gaps. Okay. Most people are filling the gaps with multivitamins, and it's still not providing what they need. They might see some changes, of course, but we already still know there's issues. A multivitamin has few isolated nutrients. An apple, as you see here on the screen, has approximately 10,000 phytonutrients, which work together in synergy. Okay, so that's a big deal. Research shows that isolated vitamins may do more harm than good, which I kind of already touched on. Oh my gosh, I forgot this. It's been a while since we did this, and I forgot this was here. So let me just touch on this. You see the recommended daily allowance. Anytime you look at a label and you see IU, MCG, MG, that means it's made in a lab. Okay, so we want to avoid that. Now, there are times where maybe you need to take an additional magnesium. Okay, magnesium, yes, can we get it from food? Absolutely. But I know when I take magnesium before I go to bed, I sleep better and I sleep deeper. So, but is that from a food? It's not, but there's certain times like that, but I'm not using that with a whole bunch of things. I'd rather go towards a plant, like an herbal type of source, if need be. Okay, and then here we go, 10,000 phytonutrients. Look at all the nutrients in here. This apple has probiotics. It's amazing for your gut. It's got fiber, which is great for your gut. It's got so many nutrients, and that's why having an apple a day is such a great idea. All right, so what is Juice Plus? So Juice Plus adds the nutrition from over 30 fruits, vegetables, and berries to your diet. It is bioavailable. This berry blend, which is what I was going to say in the last slide, is full of vitamin C. So if you're under the weather, take more berries. One of the things actually that we do, and what I did when I wasn't feeling great over the holidays, is I took every hour, I would take, for example, I start with a berry at say 9 o'clock in the morning. And then at 10 o'clock, I did a red. And then at 11 o'clock, I did a green. And I just kept doing that all through the day. Because again, when you're under the weather or your body's healing from whatever it is and repairing, even if it's working out and you've done a huge workout, you need more nutrients, okay? Because your muscles are tearing and now they have to build back up again. So whole foods are harvested. So these whole foods right here, think about this as a salad in a capsule, okay? A salad in a capsule. Some people might say, well, I'd rather just eat the salad. I don't want to eat capsules. This is what we eat. This is what we should be eating. And it's filling the gap. That's what this is just filling the gaps. You cannot get what you need. You would have to eat. This is what a lecture I went to probably 20 years ago. It was that long ago. And he said, our food is like eating styrofoam. I'm like, okay, then. And sometimes it actually tastes like styrofoam too. So you cannot eat enough. You just can't. So there's got to be a mindset shift around, I just want to eat my nutrients. Yes, you do need to, but you've got to fill the gaps. Because eventually, especially as you get older, I know, so I was 47 in November, and I will tell you that I noticed that I have to do things differently than I did even a year earlier. So as you get older, we have to take care of ourselves differently, and we need this nutrition, 150%. Okay, so it's produced. Produce is pulverized, not juiced. This is basically juicing. They take the water away and take the sugar away, and you have the concentrate. And it's dried into powders at low temperatures to preserve the nutrition. Okay, it's not heated. And they make sure of that. They're very, very particular. They're also NSF certified. So being NSF certified, the organization can go into the plants at any time without them even knowing. Okay, so that's a big deal. Plant powders are put into capsules or chewables. And full spectrum omega blend, which we'll talk about, is rich in more berries, more antioxidants, and algae, which we'll talk about. So this is what you get. One simple change. It really is that simple. And think about it. How many of us are eating lemon peel? I mean, I use lemon to make my salad dressing, but I'm not eating the peel. I can tell you that much. I'm not. I mean, how many of us are eating, say, acerola cherry with the skin, with the seeds? So what we're doing is they're taking all of these, because some of them you might say, well, yeah, I eat beets every single day, but how many beets are you eating? And is it in concentrated form? And is it organic? You know, there's the toxins aren't there. And is it NSF certified, right? There's all these other things to look at. So this is everything that we get twice a day, because I take it AM and PM. So plant-based omega. So the reason why we recommend plant-based omegas, vegan omegas, is because fish are very toxic. They are the most toxic creatures. They are very high in fat, and toxins store in fat. So our water systems in the world are very toxic. They're all connected. So what's going on over in Japan? Remember all the toxic stuff that got into the water? That's just moving into all the waterways. Okay, so even though they're far away, it still impacts us. So the fish eat the algae. We take the fish because they've got the omegas now. They don't make them, they get them from the algae, and then we eat that. And Alyssa was actually saying last night in our adrenal program, she was saying that because she does a lot of work with cancer and she teaches a cancer program at a school. And she was saying that there has been tons of research done on the fish oil with cancer patients, and she said it was not good. And she took it out of her practice altogether, and she added this in because the results were not beneficial. So what they decided to do, Juice Plus, is go straight to Algel. Eliminate the fish, go to Algel, add all these other seeds and oils and goodness. Sea buckthorn, that's actually considered, I think it's the elixir of life. Like that sea buckthorn is amazing. It's great for your face as well. And so you've got more antioxidants. These oils actually help to protect the fats. In the capsule, which there's no picture here, but in the capsule, there's a nitrogen bubble. And that nitrogen bubble makes sure that the oil doesn't go rancid, because if it goes rancid and gets into your stomach, then that's going to create more toxicity. We do not want anything rancid in our body. So this is what you can see here. It's great for your heart, brain, joints, skin, eyes, like anything to do with brain, because the brain is almost all fat. If there's, joint issues, this is great. Skin, anything to do with cardiovascular, cholesterol, all that type of stuff, omegas are essential. Sometimes even we would do a double dose, depending on what the person's dealing with. But if we want to maintain our health, then we want to at least have the 2 that it recommends. So I talked about Juice Plus. Well, I didn't really talk about it. I alluded to, we were talking about it, the complete shakes. So Juice Plus only has a Tower Garden, shakes, bars, which is, I guess, in the bar form of the shake, the trio, and the omega. That's it. Oh, and the chewables, which the chewables are just the form of the capsules. So this shake is delicious. Now, I have had a lot of shakes, and this one is, I'm very picky with, I was never like this before, but I'm very picky with the texture and the taste. And I don't want it so sweet and all of that stuff. This shake is delicious. This shake is great for kids. Those of you that have grandkids or kids, this is whole food. There's other shakes on the market where you look at the IU, MCG, MGs, it's all synthetic vitamins, which can be adult doses for kids, which can also be a poison control call. So as you can see here on the left, it's got all these different sprouts. They've actually now, this is not, oh yeah, they do, mushrooms. There's also medicinal mushrooms in there as well. It's vegan, non-GMO. They're coming out with, right now it's on Health Canada's desk. We're almost here to get it. There is a protein coming out, very similar profile, but the protein grams is 25 grams, because there's been a lot of athletes and different people who want more protein, and I hear it's quite good. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention, it's also being studied to stabilize blood sugar. That's a big deal. So safety of soy, because there is soy in here, it's water wash soy, which is very different than the typical 97% of soy on the market. Safety of soy depends on the source. The whole soybean, minimally processed, as found in Juice Plus Complete, provides the best and most balanced defense against disease. We have Dr. Jan Roberto talks about shit. We have videos, if you're interested in this kind of stuff, videos to share with you about the research on their soy. It's quite interesting. So this is, if you're an on-the-go person, if you like easy mornings like me, this is such a great option. You don't have to just drink it as a shake. You can make, when you purchase it, you get a free, I think it's like 64-page e-guide with energy balls and different ways you can use this, because it doesn't have to be just in a smoothie. So we are bridging the gap, as I mentioned. So if you eat this, you know, 10% of the time or 20% of the time, it's not going to have a huge impact. If you are healing from something, I don't recommend that. For we want more micronutrition. We want to be eating more of this, but we're not eating that much, right? Because we can only fit so much food in, and this is going to bridge the gap. So we have our micronutrition, which is our quad, and then we have our macronutrition, which is the shake, right? The protein, carbs, and fats. Juice Plus is very unique, okay? So it's food, okay? It's food. This is a big deal. It's not a multivitamin, okay? It's not, I don't even call it a supplement. Health Canada actually does not even have this product under supplement category. It's under a whole food product. That is what it's actually under. That's a big deal, okay? So it's made with non-GMO ingredients. And as you can see here, the other things, it's NSF certified, third party. That's a huge deal. A lot of products are not third party, and it goes through Health Canada. And if any of you know about Health Canada, they're quite anal. It's the most researched brand nutritional product in the world. 42 peer-reviewed, published clinical studies. And it's obviously it's 35 plus there. It's increased by then. We just came out with two I don't remember. Last year was really good, but it felt really, now that I'm thinking about it, was it last year spring or last year summer? Last year sometime, they came out with two gut health studies, and it showed that when you take the product, it actually improves gut health. I had one lady start with just the shakes. Okay, she had a lot of gut issues. She started with the shakes, and she told me, I have not been able to eat eggs in a very, very long time. She said, I had an egg and I was completely fine. She said, these shakes are the only things I've added in. It must be helping my gut. And it absolutely is. So that's a big deal. See how food can be your medicine? It's awesome. And Hippocrates did say 400 BC, he said, let food be thy medicine, medicine be thy food. You just have to have good quality, right? You have to have lots of nutrition. Juice Plus is not about treating or curing specific conditions or diseases. We've talked about that. Nothing will. Your body is the one that does the work, and everybody's body is different. So if two people have, I don't know, arthritis, for example, yes, there's certain things. Yes, we add more Juice Plus in for the micronutrition. We add, omegas in. We look at all the different ways that we're going to support them, but it doesn't mean it's going to be a carbon copy plan. Everybody is unique. Everyone has their own emotional stuff going on, mental stuff going on. And so we have to look at each person individually. However, when we take something like this, we look at it as our foundation. And Juice Plus really is the mandate is more whole foods, more plant-based. It's all about, they are the leaders in plant-based nutrition. There is no other company that I know, because I've met a lot of companies and I've been around this industry for a long time, and there hasn't been. Highly concentrated to deliver a powerful nutritional punch, which you've already learned that and gathered that, and supported by over 25 years of independent clinical research. So you can see here, these are a lot of the universities that do the research. You can see here, where is it? University of Toronto is in here as well, because I'm in Milton, so I'm close to Toronto. So I have to pull that out. Oops, okay. And now you can see studies. Now, this is just to give you a visual. I'm a visual person. There's much more. We just could not fit all of them on this slide. Improves cardiovascular wellness, improves immune system, improves gum tissue. Who'd have thought? What you eat, you become, right? Reduces oxidative stress, which when you reduce oxidative stress, guess what it does to every single one of these things that you read on the screen? It improves that. Reduces inflammation. When you reduce inflammation, guess what it helps do to everything else on the screen? It helps that. Protects DNA. That's a big deal. Healthier skin. Your skin becomes more glowy. Insulin resistance. That's all about blood sugar balance. Abdominal fat mass. We know what that is, especially as we get older. It's more, because of hormonal imbalances, that can be more of an issue for women. So this can help you. We also in our community, we run what Juice Plus calls shred programs. It's about shredding bad habits. And I call it the, what do we call it? The 10-day holistic. It's so much easier to say shred, but I don't want to use the same name everybody's using. So it's the 10-day holistic lifestyle program. And it's kind of like a detox. It's very foundational. And I'm telling you, when you go through this detox or this shred program, and we do this, well, we haven't done one yet because there's been so much going on in our community, but we will be doing one soon. And it's for our members in our community. And honestly, simple things, but they are foundational to your success, right? Like eliminating or reducing alcohol for 10 days, adding more water. You focus on if you focus on something for 10 days, you can absolutely do it, right? Drinking the shakes once or twice a day for 10 days and watch what changes. It's pretty amazing. Lung health, quality of life, and the list goes on. Here's some research results have attracted thousands of doctors. And Dr. Dubois says there is nothing else available at any place in the world with or without a prescription that has been clinically proven to do what Juice Plus has been proven to do. The awesome thing about this, guys, it's food. So when you take this to your doctor, the doctor looks, and I know this because I've had people take it and I've actually spoken to doctors and they're like, this is food. This is great. Cancer patients typically cannot have supplements. This is food. And cancer patients thrive off of this. And the shakes, because they're just food. So let's just talk briefly about the Healthy Starts for Families. This basically is a program, an amazing program. It's actually through to 21, as long as the child is in school. So from 4 to 21, and they can do it earlier. It's a choking hazard with the gummies. You just have to break them up. But basically when an adult is taking it, a child is free. It could be a grandmother, it could be an aunt, a parent. And this has been what my kids have been eating for a long time. And what family doesn't want free nutrition? I have not met one. I've not talked to one family that has kids that has actually said, no, I'm not interested. Not one. Anyone that I approach about this, because I feel like I'm doing a disservice if I don't share this, they're like, yeah, okay, right? Because it's no brainer, right? So these are just some of the statistics that they found. I'm sure it's changed by now, but this was the most recent slide I could find. But anyways, this is a big deal. 61% were eating more fruits and vegetables. That's a big deal. So basically what happens is you sign up under the Healthy Starts for Families. You get a survey before they start, and they ask you a ton of questions because they're giving you, it ends up working out to be like $3,000 to $4,000 worth of free product you're getting over the period of time. And so they're just asking you to do surveys because they're doing this, they're giving away free so that they can do the research. They want to see when kids eat more fruits and vegetables what happens to them. And this is some of the stuff they've seen. So think about who do you know, what families do you know that would want free nutrition? And then invite them to the webinar. We'd love to have them. All right, because it's all about us helping more people. This is the US one, and this is the Canadian one. Okay, so let's look at here. Is it affordable? Well, the question is, what do we think is affordable, right? Everyone has their own idea of what's affordable, but it breaks down to, the trio breaks down to $3 a day. $3 a day. Think about on a daily basis what a lot of people spend at, say, Tim Hortons or Starbucks, just using that as an example. $3 a day, right? It's less than, coffee at Starbucks. A matcha at Starbucks with oat milk is $6.50 for a grande. That's ridiculous. $3 a day. And this is much more nutritious, right? And then if you add the omega, it's $4 a day. So if you go to the store, I've done this already. and you look for a vegan omega, the quality will not be the same. I can guarantee you, you're looking at $50 plus. This is, as you can see on the screen, $38.75. So much better deal. They could easily sell that for more, for sure. I'm glad they don't put it higher though. And then as you can see, a shake is like $3.25 a meal, and then the kids are free. So, and of course you can buy extra gummies as well. So basically how I look at it is it's always about an investment in our health, right? And like I said earlier, I believe, and I've seen this in my practice, I've seen women come into my practice and they were looking for help because they had some symptoms, but it wasn't so bad. And they were like, oh, they didn't know if they wanted to invest in, the plan that I had for them. And I like, no problem, no worries. And I've had women come back. I kid you not, they've come back. One of them had cancer. They came back and they said, I need help now. And I wish I had have invested at that time. And I mean, we can say wish, I mean, it is what it is. And so we just start with where we're at. But just like I said, it's easier to help you when you're standing than when we have to pick you up off the floor. We can pick you up off the floor, but it's just going to require a little bit more. So I just encourage everyone listening by recording is I ask myself, what does my health mean to me? And, how is this going to transform how I feel? And, so, yeah, how is it going to transform how I feel? How is it going to make a difference? So, because otherwise we kind of look at it as, oh, this is more money I have to spend, but it really isn't. It's like insurance, right? You hope you never need it, but it's there if you need it. Okay. So, but this is cool because it's insurance, it's health insurance. However, you hope you never have to, you experience anything, but it's health insurance. But the awesome thing is that you get a deposit back in to your bank account because you feel better. And you're like, oh my gosh, and this is changing, and this is changing, and this is changing. And I was just on an interview tonight with another nutritionist, and there's a series that we did. And the nutritionist that I was on with, she was saying, and I've heard this before, and I never remember to actually use this analogy, but it's kind of like your bank account. If you are not depositing money into your bank account on a regular basis, your bank account's going to be empty and you're going to not be able to withdraw anything. It's the same thing with our body. If we are not depositing and investing in our body, because we have to live in this body. And I know what it's like to feel like crap, and it's not fun. And I know when I was not well over Christmas, I'm like, oh my gosh, it was kind of a wake up call, because I'm like, now I know how people feel and I can speak to that more. Right. And so anyways, it's like depositing into your body. So then you have withdrawals to come out, energy, balanced hormones, feeling good. So Tower Garden, this is a future of growing. Tower Garden has been phenomenal. I can't tell you how amazing this thing. I eat from this thing every single day. It tastes amazing. I can't wait for my salad. I'm like, I'm going to go have a salad. You should see if you don't follow me on social media, make sure you do, because you got to see my salads. Anyways, 90% less water. It uses 90% less space. The home unit is compact. It's beautiful. It's sleek. It yields 30% more. You can cut off the lettuce and it will start growing back again. It grows 3 times faster, safe and nutritious. And this is all done by a research. So if you are interested in a tower, where we are today, as of whatever the date is today, the 19th, next Tuesday, January 25th, we are having a Tower Garden webinar. You're more than welcome to come and invite people. And if you're listening by recording and you're interested, message me and I'll send you a recording. Because we're going to be doing lots of Tower Garden webinars, because now is the time for this because of what's happening in our economy. So I invite you to join us. For those of you that are not part of our community, the awesome thing about being part of our community is we can't out-supplement a bad diet, number one, but we also have to remember it's not just about taking a product. It's also about your lifestyle. How are you living your life? So we have a community. This community is 9 years in the making. And every Tuesday, every single week of the year, minus Christmas, you actually have on Tuesday nights education from various experts. Alyssa, I've done classes. There's other experts that have done classes where they're teaching you on various health topics. You name the topic, it has been taught. And so right now in our community, and as somebody that is using our product, you actually get the adrenal program for free. This is a $1,200 program. It will be sold for $1,200 after we're done. So we offer 4 programs throughout the year, and you get meal plans, you get handouts. The education that was taught last night was awesome. If you are a woman that is busy and you have many things going on, you need to be in that group, hands down. You will be happy that you learn this information, because it will actually improve your wellness, improve your immune system, improve how you handle stress, and how your body thrives, okay? Or whether your body thrives or is just kind of trying to survive. So when you are, using the quad or using the trio or on any of our products, you will have eligibility to be in our programs and to be active in those programs. That's a huge deal. And what else? Victoria, Dana, is there, what else am I missing? Is there anything else I'm missing about what we offer? That's a big one. No, we're good. So
ongoing support.
Yes.
Here to support you.
Because that's the biggest thing also is, if you go to a health food store and you purchase product, well, it's not going to be the quality. I can guarantee you that. But also it's going to be synthetic. And so when you go to a store and you purchase your product, you don't have anyone to support you. You don't have anyone to ask those questions. You don't have anyone to teach you the lifestyle, right? And that's a big deal. And me as a nutritionist, I mean, people would pay hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars, right? And this is the thing, it's so beautiful, is that you are taking a product that's $3 a day or $4 a day, and you get all of that. I think it's beautiful. Like, I really do. I say that from my heart. So there's an opportunity to be a customer. There's an opportunity if you know people that could be healthy. We always say we grow. I know as a nutritionist, and Dana, Victoria, same thing as practitioners, we grow our businesses by referral. When I've been shopping at Organic Garage in Oakville for 15 years. I have sent tons of people there. I've never received anything. That's okay, because it's a cheaper place to shop for that food, even though now the quality is not so good anymore. However, I didn't get anything from it. But this is the thing, is we are going to be, if something works for us, we just want to share. That's what we are as humans, right? So we are asking you to invite people so we can impact more people. But also, if it's something that interests you to actually have your products paid for, you don't have to be doing a business, but actually have your products paid for, then that's what we're here to help you to do as well. And I share that because a lot of people say, yeah. So that's an awesome thing. So look at this as a gift to your health. Look at it as a way for you to age well and to be part of a community that wants you to absolutely thrive and not just survive. Because when you have your health, you have 1,000 dreams. Think about it. You have 1,000 dreams. When you're healthy, you're like, yeah, I'm going to do this. And you're just dreaming. But when you don't, you only have one. And that's improving your health or getting your health back. So we're here to help you do that, and however that looks. And so, of course, whoever invited you here, get back to them, chat with them, ask some questions. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to actually turn off the recording now. And then I'm going to ask if there's questions.